I find Trinity students to be marvelous. They're a lot of fun in the classroom.
Trinity students are fantastic because they are so willing to engage in tasks and really jump in and embrace the learning experience.
And I love being able to generate conversations and discussions with the students. Conversations in which I tell them I don't have the answer. I'm going to ask the question and I genuinely do not know the answer. In fact, this is a question I'm working on right now for my book or a project. And what might an answer be? And then go. And usually there's like 10 seconds of silence. And then the Trinity students go.
Our students are capable of learning tasks that people don't think are appropriate for undergraduates. And I think that's one of the great things about the Trinity education is we get to take risks and really explore the range of things that undergraduates are capable of doing, and our students are willing to take those risks with us.
If you're not learning, then you can't teach. And I think that learning with the students is, to me, one of the most valuable contributions that Trinity is giving me, and lets me explore things and be curious so that I can be curious with my students and we can explore things together.
What I love to do is discuss fine literature with intelligent people. That's what I do, and the university pays me for it. I love what I do and I do what I love. That's a great gift in my life. So I'm going to do it as long as I'm physically and mentally able. And right now, I'm just fine.
The faculty are engaged, the students are engaged, and they are engaging with each other. I think in not only what they're learning, but also engaged in moving forward and building on what they've learned in the past.
I do my best to transmit knowledge, and more transmit pathways to knowledge or methods of knowledge, because at the end of the day, at the end of 4 years of college, you're not going to remember everything that ever happened in a classroom. No one can. No one's that superhuman. But, it would be great if you could remember every technique you had for finding that answer so that you could find that answer or a different answer later in the future. That's the goal. That's the point.
I want my students, no matter what they major in, to be able to speak well, to be able to write well, to be able to think critically.
I've participated over the years in a lot of faculty-led programs. So about almost half of our students have an opportunity to study abroad. And increasingly, more and more of these opportunities to study abroad are happening with faculty-led programs, where a faculty leads a program somewhere else in the world, and the students get to see this other country, not only through the things that they're learning, but also within a kind of small version of the Trinity community.
Students who have had these research experiences at Trinity, when they go beyond, are in a phenomenal position once they get to either grad school or to the working world. For instance, we had a student graduate 2012, and he just received this really impressive award at he's now a geophysicist.
And I have students all the time who contact me, and not just from students who go on in my field, but students in law school and med school and in jobs and stuff who are just come back and they go, I didn't realize what you all were doing for me. I didn't realize how prepared I would be. And now I look at the people around me who are floundering because they had a different type of education. And I'm so grateful because my education prepared me.
Physically, there have been a lot of changes. We have a lot of new, exciting new buildings, and things have gotten moved around a little bit. I think the campus was incredibly beautiful when I first came here, and it still is. There are elements of it that reflect the old red brick traditional Trinity, and then there's exciting new things that I think are part of the educational imperative and are really important in terms of giving us a new kind of innovative look.
Well, I can't even remember the buildings. When I first came, there was only Myrtle, Isabel, and Susanna for women students, 144, that's all there was. So thanks to generous donors from all over the world, the buildings have not only mushroomed, but they have been, many of them, in the years I've been here, renovated completely from top down. People who have been successful in building this institution have found donors who've made real commitments to this institution. The alums themselves set up a scholarship in my honor. Long, I hope, before my death. They did it years and years ago. I don't know how much is in it, but some student goes to school here on the Colingrism Scholarship.
The donations that we get from donors are lifelong, and the effects on the students are perennial. These are things, if a student gets a scholarship to study abroad, this is not something that's just going to affect that student that summer. This is something that is going to affect that student for life. And this is something that is going to teach that student that they have to continue this virtuous cycle of giving.
What I say to the donors is, make sure this is always possible, no matter what. Put it foremost in your budgeted giving, and sure enough, put it in your estate planning.